So whenever we want to write down a program in computer, we need to use some set of rules, right? We need to follow some protocols, some set of rules. The set of rules to write down a program in computer is known as programming language. Firstly, we need to understand, we need to memorize program. Program means set of instructions to a specific task. Right? And programming language means set of rules, right? A program. So basically, two different types of programming languages. We can divide programming languages into two types. Right. One is known as low level language and other one is known as high level language. Why do we say one language are low level or one language are high level? Suppose this is computer hardware. This hardware of computer is basically controlled by operating system, right? And in operating system we run different applications, and these applications are used by the user execute applications are executed on operating system, and operating system will execute these applications on computer hardware, means on computer uh, processor, or monitor will be used, speakers, keyboards, mouse, all the devices will be used. So we can say that at the top level there is user, and low level, at the bottom level there is at top level there is user, and at bottom level there is computer hardware. So a language that is nearer to computer hardware is known as low level language. A language that is nearer to computer user is known as high level language. Hmm? Suppose I am writing a program using these instructions. I have written a program, right? And this is a program. This is written in the
High level language.
hardware. It is not error to user. Suppose I am writing this program, or I am writing a program yes, which language, these are three different programs, right? So which language is closer to human?
Uh, 2 and 3.
2, 1, 3. No, I have written these different programs. No, this is one program.
हाँ, मैं
Suppose
यही बोल रहा हूँ, ये LDD वाली और इनपुट नंबर वाली, ये दोनों.
I, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. अच्छा, out of these three, input number. Now, input is English language word, right? Number is English language word. Input number to total, print. So we can say that this is nearer to human, nearer to user. So a program written in this type of language will be considered as high level language. But we don't know what is meant by the word LDD, ADD, STO. These are not English words. So we will say that this language is not nearer to user. So we can say this is low level language. And just like this language is also in zeros and ones, so it will be low level language. So we can say that low level language is a language that is nearer to computer hardware, and high level language is a language that is nearer to computer user. So basically we have three different types of two types of languages. One is low level and other one is high level. Languages, we divide the language into two groups. We say that there are languages and there are high level languages. Now, if you categorize computer in this way, that you have then we have types of low level language. A language that is written in zeros and one. A language that is written in some abbreviations. These are low level languages. So one language consists of zeros and ones. So we can say that this is machine language. A language that consists of some abbreviation is known as assembly language. And a language that consists of English similar word is known as high level language. For example, we have Java, we have Python, we have Basic, we have VB. In all these languages, we use English similar words. As we are using English similar words, we say that these languages are high level languages, and that is using zeros and one, it is known as machine language. So machine language consists of current signals. Basically, 0 and 1 are representing current signals. Current signals uh, on and off. Assembly language, we say that these are LDD, ADD, STO. These are symbolic code. Of symbolic codes. Uh, these symbolic codes are mnemonics. Mnemonics, right? For example, LDD, ADD, STO,
Sir, what is
and
mnemonics?
mnemonics. These words are known as mnemonics.
Oh, acha.
LDD is a mnemonic, right? STO is a mnemonic. ADD is consists of like input, for, while, repeat, until. These are English similar words. Huh? So a language that consists of current signal is known as machine language. A language that consists of mnemonics is known as assembly language. A language that consists of English similar words Natural language words is known as high level language. Sometime machine language are represented, may be represented in hexadecimal units. Like if you have written a code 100 000 1111 1, it may be written as 9 1 8 and 4 12 and 1. It will be 9 1, then 9 1, and then it is 8 and 4 12 and 1 13. 13 means, and 12 means C. If you are sometime assembly language code is written in hexadecimal number, sometime it is written in machine zeros and ones. But both are known as machine language. And then assembly language code consists of English similar consists of English abbreviations. These abbreviations are known as mnemonics, right? And a high level, like for example, we can write an example that like A double D uh, or LDD 101 D 102 ST. There we can use input marks uh, to marks divided by 75 output percentage. So you may see that these are like that, like we have written thing in English. These are the different types of languages. Now we need to know why do we use assembly language, why do we use machine language, and why do we use high level language. We need to understand the uses or application advantages and disadvantages of these languages. Right, beta? Are you getting my point? Hello, Qasim.
Yes, sir.
Actually, no, languages and translation.
सर इसके बाद कंपाइलर्स का भी बता दीजिएगा.
Basically, this is only one topic in which both are studied, languages and translators, right? Now, machine language, then assembly language. Now, these are the advantages of assembly language. You have to memorize these advantages. Number one, machine language. The advantage of machine language is that we are writing code in computer's own language. If you are writing code in computer's own language, it means there is no need of a translator. Computer can understand this code. Huh? If you are writing code in this way, computer will understand it, can understand it. So there will be no need of any language translator. If no language translator is required, so its speed will be it will be speed later, right? It will be executed very quickly because we are performing any task without any type of translation. Translation will take some time, but this is very much difficult for a programmer to write down the code in machine language. It will be hectic job for a programmer. It is easier for the computer, but it will be very hectic job for a programmer. Suppose you want to write down A double T. It means you need to write down the code of A, then D and D. A is represented, suppose in 8 bits. So to type 3 characters, you need to give uh, 24 instructions, 24 uh, signals in the form of zeros and one. One for A you will type 8 characters, for D you will type 8 characters, then D you will type 8 characters. So it will be very much difficult for us to type the code in machine language. Then what we do, we use assembly language. Assembly language is a language that is nearer to computer hardware. Uh, what we do, suppose we are asked to write down a code that consists of that can occupy lesser space in disk. Like you want to write down a code for your microwave oven, you want to write down a code for your AC, you want to write down a code for electronic washing machine, or for the mm, electronic petrol pump. Uh, if you want to write down the code in these devices, we don't have a lot of space, and a lot of memory. So what we do, we write down a code that will occupy very lesser amount of storage. For that we use assembly, right? So we will use assembly language for it. So to make use of special hardware, if we are writing a code for any specific hardware, we will use this one. What does it mean? It means that if you have written a code for your electronic petrol pump, this code cannot be executed on a washing machine. Or if you have written a code for washing machine, you cannot use this code in your uh, photocopier machine, right? So
यूनिक कोड होता है.
this is machine dependent code, specific to machine, right? Are you getting my point? Or and this code will not take many a lot of space, so this code will be executed very fastly, very quickly. These are the advantages of, you need to memorize these advantages, right? What are the advantages of writing code in assembly language? To make use of special hardware, to make use of special machine dependent instructions, write code that does not take up much space, and write code that may performs task very quickly, right beta? Then we have the other language, this is known as high level language. High level language is portable. What does it mean by that? This is a portable. Uh, suppose you want to, uh, I am using this one node, right? In my laptop, and my laptop is Lenovo ThinkPad. What does it mean? That this code will be has been written. The program of this one node is specifically written for Lenovo ThinkPad, or this program will be executed any Microsoft machine. If you have Toshiba laptop, or you have any other laptops, Dell machine, or you are working on desktop, or so this code can be executed over there, or this code is specific to Lenovo ThinkPad. What do you think?
सर हर जगह यूज हो सकता है.
Yes, it means this is a portable. What we say? We say portable. It means it can be executed on any machine. So if you want to write down a portable code, we use high level language. One advantage is this. Second advantage of high level language is that this code is similar to English language, so it is easier for the user, for the programmer to write down the code in high level language, right? So these are the advantages. Program written in high level language is portable, not machine dependent. Huh? Uh, Other one, in this chapter basically you need to memorize these advantages. right? Program read and understand as the language used is easier to read and understand as is easier. This easier word is used over here. ठीक है, easier to read and understand as the language is used to human language, closer to human language. Easier to write in a shorter time. Debug at the development stage. If you are writing a program at that time, you will face some errors, and you can remove these errors. Huh? In development time are maintained once in use. You have written a program and now there is and then you have distributed the program and now there are some errors, so you can correct these errors, right beta? So these are the advantages of high level language. Is there any issue beta? Is there any issue?
नो सर. सर तो हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज में हम लोग ट्रांसलेटर्स यूज करते हैं.
Basically, if you are writing a program in machine language, it means you are communicating with computer in its own language, so there is no need of translation. But if you are writing a program in assembly language, this is not computer's own language. So you need to firstly translate it into machine understandable form, means you need to convert this into zeros and ones. So you need a language translator. And if you are writing a program in high level language, again, you need a language translator that can convert these words in zeros and ones. Computer can understand only zeros and ones. So you need language translators when you are using assembly language or you are using high level language. Right? Right, beta. This is the disadvantage of assembly language and high level language, that you need a language translator. Right, and there is another disadvantage of assembly language, that this code is machine dependent. You cannot execute it on other machine. And another if you are asked to write down the disadvantage of high level language, so you will say that it will occupy more space in disk, on disk. Huh? So the code will be slower as compared to a code written in assembly language. So in exam you need to when you memorize these things now, so you can write down advantages and disadvantages both. If you are asked to write down advantages,
सर हाई सर हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज की क्या डिसएडवांटेज थी?
you may say that there are some disadvantages, like high level language will take up much space. It will be slower as compared to assembly language. It will occupy more space. And the advantage of machine learning and another disadvantage, that the code written in high level language needs to be translated in machine language. And this is disadvantage, ना?
सर इस चैप्टर के अंदर किस तरह याद करना है, यानी क्या बस सबके एडवांटेजेस डिसएडवांटेजेस याद करनी?
We will solve the question, na? You will see that when we solve quickly, inshallah, within few minutes we will start solving the questions. Then you will see which type of questions are set in exam. These are the topical questions. I will share this document with you. Like you may see, sometime you are just asked to identify which language is this, A, B, or C. A is
लो लेवल?
no, we have two types of low level language: assembly language and machine language.
मशीन
So,
लैंग्वेज?
मशीन कोड.
and B is assembly
असेंबली.
language, and C is high level.
हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज.
This question is repeated multiple times. You may see. Uh,
सर लैंग्वेज ट्रांसलेटर
yes,
से समझो.
this question was set. The same question was set in exam. right? Firstly, you need to understand, then you need to identify the reason, like here, explain why, two reasons why a programmer may choose to write a program in high level language rather than a low level language. Either high level languages are machine independent, they are portable, they are easier for a programmer to write down the code, right? So this type of questions are set. You are asked to write down the advantages and disadvantages, etc. So now next is that we will solve the question, then you will see it. But quickly we should understand two concepts. One is source code. Yes, beta. Source code means a code that you have written, a programmer has written. Programmer writes code in assembly language and high level language. So the code which is written in assembly language or high level language will be considered as source code. But computer cannot understand the code written in assembly language or high level language, then this code is translated into machine code. The machine code is known as object code, right? So source code is a program written in high level language or written in high level language or assembly language, and then we use some language translators. These language translators, these codes in object code. Object code is a code that is written in machine language. So we don't write down the code in machine language. We write down the code in assembly or high level language, and then we use language translator. These language translators will convert this code in machine language, and then computer can understand and execute it. Because if we are writing code in machine language, it will be nearer to impossible task for us. So what we do, we write down the code which is easier for us, then we give we use some language translators, then these language translators will translate these codes in machine language, right? Is it clear, beta? Now
Yes,
language
sir.
translators, and it means we need some language translators. We have three different types of language translators. A language translator which is used to translate assembly language code into machine language is known as assembler. Then we have two language translators for high level language. Number one is interpreter and number two is compiler. So we need to understand the differences between interpreter and compiler. We have three types of language translators. Right? One is assembler. Uh, the second one is compiler, and third one is interpreter. Now we need to understand the differences. This is a very common question in exam. So we need to understand the differences between these three. Yes. That you, as its name shows, is used to translate assembly language code. Compiler is used to translate high level language code.
सर असेंबली लैंग्वेज तो कोई भी लैंग्वेज नहीं हो सकती जो कि यानी मशीन कोड में नहीं लिखी हुई हो.
No. Basically, what we have studied, we have three different types of language. A language, you need to understand it, now. Like here, this is the hierarchy, right? Computer consists of hardware, keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, CPU. These hardware is controlled by operating system like Windows, Mac operating system, iOS, Android. These are controlling these devices. If you don't have in your computer Android or iOS or Mac operating system or Windows, you cannot use this hardware. You cannot use. You cannot give instructions to keyboard. You cannot give instructions to monitor or printer. You are using Windows to give instructions. Huh? And then in Windows or Mac operating system we use applications like Word, Excel. I am using OneNote. Huh? These are the applications, and these applications are used by us. We are user, right? So at the top level we have user, and at the bottom level we have hardware, but the user cannot directly use hardware. What does user do? User uses applications uses operating system, and then operating system will run these applications and users instruction on computer hardware, right? So we can say that at the bottom level we have hardware, and at the top level we have user is at the top level, and at the bottom level we have hardware, right? At top level we have user, and a language that is nearer to user, the language which is nearer to user is considered as high level language, and a language that is nearer to hardware is considered as low level language. These are two types of languages. Then we have studied that if we are writing code in zeros and one, huh? Or we are writing code in some abbreviations, or we are writing code in English similar words. So which is nearer to user? These two codes are nearer to user, or this code is nearer to user?
So last order.
Uh, so we say that this is at nearer to user, and user is at the top level. So we say that this is high level language, right? And these two are low level languages. In low level language, we have two examples. Number one is machine language, and number two is assembly language. And in a high level language, we have a lot of examples like VB, like Python, like Java, uh,
This is
HTML.
Sari coding applications.
Sorry, coding application languages are high level languages, because in all these languages we use English similar words. So that's why these are known as high level language. Then we were studying the language translator. If you are writing a code in this form, LDD 101, computer cannot understand what is written. STO 102. This is not understandable for computer. Computer can understand only this language. So we need to translate this code into this code. For that we use language translator. We we know that this is assembly language, so we need a translator that can translate assembly language into machine language. So this will be known as assembler, right? Right, beta. So we have three different types of language translator. One type is for assembly language, and two other types are for high level language. We have two
सर ये
language types of language translators for high level languages, beta.
सर ये STO वगैरह ये असेंबली लैंग्वेज में आते हैं ना?
STO. Basically, these STO or LDD, these words are known as mnemonics. You need to memorize it, right? That these words are known as mnemonics. In some exams, you will see that a word is used mnemonics. Mnemonic means a code written in assembly language, right?
ओके सर.
Right, beta. So you need to memorize this word mnemonics. Now अच्छा, how does it work? We use assembler. Firstly, assembler will take source code of right, then it will translate it in whole at then it will save this code and then it will prepare an executable file, and whenever you want to execute it you can execute this code. Now these are the steps. The steps are assembly language will take assembly language code, अच्छा, what will happen? Firstly, it will translate the machine language, right? And it will make its after translating into machine language, it will translate it into machine language, and then ठीक है, it will translate it, and as it will translate it machine language, we will obtain an object. Right, beta, it will take assembly language source code in assembly language, then translate it, and after translating it will now what are the steps? Firstly, it will take code in assembly language, then it will translate it into object code, then it will save this code and prepare an executable file, and whenever you want to execute this code you will use just this executable file. You don't need to translate it again. Whenever you want to execute it you will just need the executable file. Are you getting me, मेरे बच्चों?
Yes, sir.
Now we need to understand how compiler works. अच्छा, compiler will work in the same way. It will take source code in high level language, then it will translate it into machine, that is object code. And it will translate whole code in one time. Right, then it will save it in the form of executable file, and then you can execute it. So
Sir, whole code at a time
हाँ
और
बेटा,
whole code at a time और whole code in one go में फर्क क्या है? इसे आपने एक ही बात
in one go, where it is in one go. Now, how does interpreter work? It will also take the source code in high level language.
Sir, for what's the difference?
ठीक है ना, पहले हम पूरे ट्रांसलेट it into object code in machine language, right? One statement at a time, right? And it will not save it. It will not prepare an executable file. It will just execute it. It means whenever no. Yes. So what are the steps in assembly language? A compiler, it will take source code, it will translate it into object code, it will save it and produce an executable file, and then this file will be executed. When you want to execute the code, you just need the executable file. In interpreter, it will translate source code into object code, and but only one statement at a time, and then it will directly execute it. The code is directly executed on machine, and as it has not saved the code, if you want to execute the code, you need to perform whole this activity again. Whenever you are using interpreter, if you want to execute your code 10 times, you need to translate it 10 times. But if you are using compiler or assembler, you will translate it only once, and how many number of times you want to execute, you may execute it. Are you getting my point? What is the difference between interpreter and compiler? Yes, बच्चों.
सर मैं समझ में नहीं आया डिफरेंस क्या था.
Okay. Let us revive it. Huh? Compiler will translate whole source code in one go. After translation, it will save this file in the form of executable file. And whenever suppose a book is given to you, and in this book there are many new words, and you are asked to read this book. A book is given to you, and in this book we have many new words, and you are asked to read this book. What will you need? You will need a dictionary, right? And to read this book, suppose you have you take book and dictionary, and you start reading the book, right? Then after 6 months or 7 months, you are again asked to read the book. You will again need the dictionary, because it is not possible for you to memorize new words for 6 months. Huh? So what will happen, whenever you are asked to read the book, you will need a dictionary. But if you take the book, you take a notebook, and you start writing the reading the book and writing in your own language, and you have prepared a book, you have written whole the translation in your notebook, and whenever now you are asked to read the book, you don't need any dictionary. You will not need any dictionary or any book. You will just open your notebook in which you have written the translation, and you will start reading the book, right? Though the translation will take a time, it will be a hectic job for you, but whenever you want to read the book, you don't need any the original book, you don't need any dictionary. You will just start reading your book in which you have written the translation, right? Just like this. just like this. There is a difference between compiler and interpreter. There is similarity between compiler and interpreter. The similarity is that both of them are used to translate source code written in high level language. Huh? Both are used to translate source code in high level language. But the difference between these two is that compiler will read whole code in one go. If there is an error, compiler will produce an error report, and if there is no error, then compiler will make translation in one go. And then it will not produce a translation, it will also save the translation. And if the translation is saved, you don't need to translate the code again and again. On the other hand, the interpreter will read only one statement at a time. It will translate the statement, and then it will execute the statement, and then it will go to the next line. Suppose you have written these three lines in your program. These lines. Huh? Or I have written a code. Yes, yeah. Suppose you have written these lines. So firstly, what it will do, if you are using interpreter, it will translate this code and execute, and you will enter a number. Then it will go to this line, translate it and execute. Then computer will ask to enter the second number, and then it will go to this line, it will translate it and execute. Then computer will calculate the total.
सर ये इंटरप्रेटर में होता है.
Interpreter will read one line, translate it, execute it, and then it will go to the next line. Read this line, translate it, execute it, and then go to the next line. And if you are using compiler, compiler will read whole the 4 lines, make translation of these 4 lines, and then it will give you an executable code. Now you can execute this at any time.
सर तो फिर
Interpreter is not.
इंटरप्रेटर का फायदा क्या है?
This is the question. This is the question. Very important question, right? Then if
सर ये हैंड टू हैंड इंटरप्रेट कर लेते हैं ना गलती को.
this is the answer. Basically, if you are writing a code, these are the 4 lines. These are the 4 lines. The disadvantage of compiler is that it will read whole the code. Suppose there is error in this line, in line number 3. So what will compiler do? Compiler will read the line number 1. If there is no error, then it will read line number 2, then line number 3, and if there is an error, it will note down the error, and then it will go to the line number 4. After reading all the lines, it will check is there any error. If there was error, then it will produce error report. Right? Suppose in your program there are 1000 lines, and the error is in line number 1. Your compiler will read line number 1, there is error, then it will note down the error, and then it will continue reading other lines. After reading all the lines, it will produce an error report. This is the disadvantage of compiler. If you are using interpreter and there is error in line number 1, it will stop at that point. It will stop execution as soon as it encounters an error, and it will at once tell you that this is the problem in your, here is the problem in your program. Suppose you have written this code and you are using interpreter, it will execute this code, right? Translate it, there is no error, it will execute. It means you have tested this line. Then it will go to this line, it will translate it, execute it. Now you have tested 2 lines, and then it will go to the line number 3, there is an error, so it will stop its process and display error at once. So at development stage, it is beneficial for a programmer to use interpreter. Are you getting my point?
Sir, at
Hello.
what stage?
Development. When you are writing your program, when you are writing and testing your program, it will be better that you use interpreter, because interpreter will stop execution as soon as it encounters an error. Suppose there is, these are 1,000 lines, and then the error is in line number 1. It will read line number 1 and stop, and tell you to there is an error in line number 1, then you will correct it and then you will start it again, right? So it is better that you use interpreter at when you are writing a program, you are developing a program, and it will be better. Acha bhai, there is some disadvantage of interpreter too. What is the disadvantage of interpreter?
Will take longer time, बार बार करना
Because you
पड़ेगा
need to
translate.
translate it again and again. There is another disadvantage of interpreter. The another disadvantage of interpreter is that you need to distribute your source code. Remember beta, when you are selling your software, basically you are not selling your software, you are selling rights to use your software. Suppose Microsoft has developed word processor and Microsoft has invested uh, 5 million on development of word processor. It is possible that they have invested this much amount on the software, but it is not possible that Microsoft start selling this software for 5 million. Is it possible that Microsoft can sell this software to one user at 5 million? No one will purchase this
राइट्स
software.
देंगे ना ताकि कोई और इस्तेमाल कर सके उसे.
So what will Microsoft do? Microsoft will distribute the cost in thousands of users. It will sell this software on. It may be possible that they sell this software for 20,000, right? So if they are selling this software for 20,000, then they will sell this software to thousands of users. Then they will start earning the money on using this software. But if Microsoft is distributing source code, then what will happen? Microsoft has sold this software for 20,000. Any other programmer will take this software source code, make some changes, and then he will start selling this software for 10,000. Right? And if the software is sold for 10,000, nobody will purchase the software from the Microsoft. If there are same features in the software. So what will Microsoft do? Microsoft will distribute executable file. And executable file, as it is written in machine code, this is not easier to make changes in executable file. That's why it is better for a software house to distribute the code in the executable file, in the form of executable file, right? If you are distributing in the form of executable file, this code cannot be amended. So for the software house, it is better that they distribute the code in executable form, not in source code, right? They should distribute it in the form of object code. Two advantages are there. One advantage is that if you have compiled your code, it means there is no error. Because if there was an error, the code is not compiled, it will produce an error report. Right, beta? Compile. How does compiler work? Compiler start reading the code. If there is an error, it will note down the error and continue reading. After reading all the lines, it will produce an error report. If there is no error, then it will translate whole code in machine code, right? So if a program is compiled, it means it is error free. If you are giving a compiled version to your client, then your client is confirmed that this software is error free, and other advantage of for your client is that he don't need to translate it again and again. He doesn't need to translate it again and again. And if you are using interpreter, huh, then there are some advantages for the software developer. The advantage is that software is it will display error report as soon as it encounters the error. Number one advantage. Uh, so this is the advantage, and the disadvantage is that you need to distribute. If you are distributing interpreter version of the software, you need to distribute source code. And the second disadvantage is that it is not confirmed that the program is error free, right? So these are the advantages and disadvantages of your compiler, interpreter and assembler. Yes, what is the difference between compiler and assembler? बच्चों, हेलो बच्चों, what is the difference between a compiler and an interpreter?
सर वो एक असेंबली लैंग्वेज से करता है और एक
Compiler and assembler compile, yes, assembler is used to translate assembly language code, compiler is used to translate high level language. Then what is the difference between compiler and interpreter? Compiler will translate whole code in one go, interpreter will translate statement by statement. Compiler will produce executable file, interpreter will not produce executable file. हाँ, ठीक है बेटा. Now we are going to solve the question. Yes, these are the questions. Before solving these question, yes beta, solve.
सर सेकंड वाला असेंबलर है.
Second one is assembler. You say that second one is assembler. Complete the following tasks using your second one. Yes.
सर थर्ड वाला इंटरप्रेटर है.
थर्ड और फर्स्ट वाला कंपाइलर है.
वाला कंपाइलर है.
Very good. This is the approach. You haven't solved this one, na? Because you may write down assembler over here, you may write down compiler over here, you may write down interpreter over here. Then you leave it and then you start solving these two, and after the solving these two, you have written the remaining translator over there. This is good approach. Huh? So firstly, you say that this is assembler. And then you say this is stops execution of a interpreter, and then good approach, compiler. If you start reading solving this question without reading whole question, then it may be possible that you may produce an mistake. You will do a mistake. So firstly you need to read whole the code, whole the question, and then you will attempt the question. This is the approach which is required over here. Now then there is a question. This is very much important. There is very important question for you. This question is set multiple times, and this question says that you are it's good to test your understanding on the topic.
सर एलिस यूज करेगी असेंबलर.
Say that Alice should use assembler. Let me note it down. Assembler. Let me note it down. Okay. And then you this is 6 marks question. Now 1 mark for giving the name, and then you need to write down the reason. But for Akbar, what you suggest?
सर एलेक्स यूज करेगा कंपाइलर कॉस्ट फॉर सेल, और लास्ट फिर बचा इंटरप्रेटर, वो अकबर यूज करेगा.
सर इंटरप्रेटर सेल के लिए नहीं इस्तेमाल कर सकते?
Question now. This is the question. Basically, if we are using, acha, Alice is developing a program written in high level language. Low level language, good. So you will write down as developing a program using for assembly language code. Alice will need assembly that can translate it into object. Now, now, Akbar is developing a program. Whenever we are developing a program, we need to test it at the development stage, right? We sometimes we need we have assigned multiple people to perform to write on the code for a program. So the some programmer one programmer will write down part of the code, and another programmer will write down other part of the code. If you are using compiler, they cannot test the code until whole code is written. Incomplete code cannot be tested in compiler. If you want to test incomplete code, we should use interpreter, number one. Number two, compiler will take time to compile, because it will read whole the code. Even it finds an error, but it will continue reading. After reading whole the code, it will start compiling it, producing executable file, and it will take a lot of time. But if you are using interpreter, it will produce error. It will start translating and executing the code line by line. And suppose there are 30 lines, and there is error in line number 10, then it will execute 9 lines. As 9 lines are executed, it means you have tested 9 lines. And as soon as it counters the error, like in line number 10, it will stop reading other lines. Then you will make correction in the line number 10, and then you will start restart it.
So ये compiler होगा?
No, it is in interpreter.
Interpreter, सही.
So interpreter, we can say that incomplete code can be tested. Incomplete source code written in high level language source code. Incomplete, high level. How do you write down the answer? Firstly, you will make the points of the answer. Here you will write down in using pencil that high level language, incomplete code, uh, and stops at first error, and then you will make sentence and write it. Incomplete code of high level language. Transmission as soon as it encounters an right and compiler. Alex should use compiler for distributing software So your source code will be secure and compiled version means by user again and again. Error. Right बच्चों? Is it clear बच्चों? Hello बच्चों.
जी सर.
Right. I am sharing
जी.
this document with you. You will download this document. There are some questions. You will solve this question and then we will continue inshallah tomorrow. We can continue online classes daily at 10 or at 9 a.m. whenever you want.
सर जो आपने सबसे पहले लिखवाया था वो आप वहाँ पे जा सकते हैं ताकि मैं स्क्रीनशॉट
Yes,
ले
I
लूँ.
will give PDF of this file. Both the files. I am producing PDF. That's cool. All of you are in from class 11, so I am sending the PDF. 11. Oh. I am sharing this PDF in WhatsApp group. ठीक है बच्चों?
जी सर.
Right, I am sharing this in WhatsApp group.